Hi there, I'm Lee Fletcher, the principal and co-founder of the design studio Fig40 and co-founder of communityforopportunity.org, which is an organization that aims to employ homeless folks in the making of things. The notion of being well, of helping others and giving back to the community is one that's I certainly find is in constant need of attention. My daily life, work, family, life balance, all those things are constantly tilting out of balance without some constant maintenance. One of the curious things about this unprecedented time that we're in right now is that with slightly reduced workload, I find that I'm able to reflect a little bit on where I've been and what values have been I've been working out in my work and how well I might actually be. And so I'm reminded of the work that we did on the community chair. The community chair came out of a conversation with a friend of mine who runs a men's shelter here in Toronto. They have 120 beds, and the joke often goes for those of us that design chairs that do we really need another chair? And on asking him about this, he, all joking aside, went back and found that they actually spent a lot of money every year replacing chairs in the drop-in that were just not really great chairs. And so it started the question of, okay, well, if we were to design a chair for drop-in centers, what might that be? They also run a social enterprise to do all the laundry. So they employ folks from the shelter to do the laundry. And that got me to thinking that maybe that's a way to make the chair that we could design in the same way that our clients, we design mostly furniture, and a lot of our clients don't make the components that go into the furniture that they sell, they assemble. So a chair is an ideal vehicle for this kind of project to try and get people working, as we found out. It's an iconic object. And it's also of a good scale and level of complexity that people can build it with very little training, and I think certainly what we found through the builds that we've done, it holds the potential to build a lot of self-worth. And that really is what Community for Opportunity became about, is for folks that are wrestling with homelessness. Self-worth is a real problem, and what became the design of a chair really translated into an idea that we're still working through, but it's one that builds self-worth in people and gives them opportunity to get back on their feet when they've had some nasty knocks in life. The chair is a simple stacking chair. The research that we did of shelters and environments like that had a whole series of requirements. Things like no nooks and crannies and sharp edges for bugs to potentially nest. Also soft edges on the chair itself, because occasionally, unfortunately, chairs can be used as weapons, so we want to minimize the potential impact. So there are a number of institutional requirements around this chair, but one of the other things that came out of the research is that for a lot of people, these drop-in centers are their living rooms. And so an institutional chair in that environment, although that might satisfy a lot of the technical requirements, wouldn't be appropriate. So we needed to design the chair to be as warm and inviting as possible. So let's assemble one, and you can see how it all goes together. So I'm now going to assemble a chair. So the community chair is made up of two main parts and some hardware. So we have the frame, which is just a pretty conventional steel tube frame. The shell is a very conventional beech plywood shell with 4 inserts located. We have glides, and these press on. So a key part of being well for me is working on projects with a completely different set of goals. Being reminded that our work exists in a much larger context than we're often aware of, involving all people at all points. And it's a reminder that if we're not a positive impact on the community that we're working in, then our work is diminished. So thank you for your time. I hope this was of interest, and if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you.